Son, daughter, stop everything you are doing right now. This is not an ordinary moment. This is not just another video that happened to appear on your screen. This is a Kairos moment. A specific moment set before the foundation of the world, marked on the eternal calendar with your name written on it. Lord of time and eternity, orchestrated every second of your life so that you would arrive exactly here at this instant. It wasn't an algorithm, it wasn't luck, it wasn't coincidence. It was I who placed this video before your eyes at this exact moment because I have something urgent to tell you, something that cannot wait another day, another hour, another minute. While the whole world rushes back and forth, lost in meaningless routine, I am stopping the spiritual clock of your life right now. I am telling the entire universe to be silent because I am going to speak to my son, to my daughter. This is the moment you have longed for so much, the moment you have waited for in the early hours of the morning in tears, the moment you almost gave up on seeing happen. But I never forgot, I never delayed, I never failed. And the time has come. It is now, in this second that you breathe, in this beat of your heart. It is now that I will intervene in your life in a way you have never experienced before. You might even be wondering, why now? Why not a year ago when you needed me most? Why not 6 months ago when everything fell apart? But I'll tell you the truth. If I had acted sooner, you wouldn't have been ready to receive what I'm going to give you. You wouldn't have had the maturity to carry what I'm going to place in your hands. Your heart wouldn't have been prepared for the weight of the glory I'm going to pour upon you. That's why I waited, not out of indifference, not out of lack of love, but because I needed you to reach exactly this point, the point where you have nothing left to lose, the point where you've tried everything and nothing worked, the point where the only option left is to trust me completely. And now, son, now, daughter, I will show you who I truly am. Not the God you've heard about, not the God you were taught in religion, but the God I truly am, the God who moves mountains, the God who parts seas, the God who raises the dead, the God who transforms deserts into gardens. This God is before you now, and I didn't come here to do little. I didn't come here to give a temporary fix. I came to turn your life upside down, inside out. I came to make the impossible become reality. So, if you feel deep down in your soul that this message was made especially for you, if there is something inside you confirming that this message is not generic but deeply personal, I want you to do something right now. Go to the comments and leave your testimony. Write, I receive. Because when you declare with your mouth what I am doing, when you publicly say yes to me, you further activate my action in your life. There is power in doing your declaration. There is authority in your voice, and your testimony below is not just for you. It may be exactly the word that another person needs to read to believe that I still perform miracles. Go now. Write, I receive and see what I will do. Because I know, son, I know, daughter, I saw. Every tear you shed in the silence of the night, when everyone slept and you were awake, suffocated by pain, you couldn't explain to anyone. I counted each of those tears. Each one is kept in my hands. None fell to the ground without me noticing. None run down your face without me feeling it with you. I saw when you smiled during the day but cried at night. I saw when you pretended to be okay in front of people, but inside you were completely shattered. I was there every time you thought you were alone. Every time you felt abandoned by the whole world. Every time you looked at the sky and asked where I was. I've always been here. My eyes have never left you, not even for a second. I saw when people hurt you and you didn't have the strength or the will to fight back. I saw when you were betrayed by the person you trusted most. I saw when you lost people you loved and emptiness took over your home, your bed, your days. I saw when illness arrived unannounced and you felt powerless, fragile, vulnerable in the face of your own body's fragility. I saw when the money ran out and you didn't know how you were going to pay the next month's bills. I saw when you looked in the mirror and no longer recognized who you were because the pain had transformed even your face, even the sparkle in your eyes. I saw when you tried to get up and fell again. I saw when you made plans and they crumbled. I saw when you planted hopes and reaped disappointments. I saw when you reached out for help and people turned their backs. I saw when you cried out for help and no one heard. But I heard, son, I heard, daughter. Every silent cry from your heart reached my ears like thunder shaking the sky. Every sigh of weariness, every groan of pain, every plea you didn't even have words to form, reached me. And it was precisely for this reason, for all that I saw and that I know, that I decided enough is enough. Enough of prolonged suffering, enough of endless pain. Enough of you carrying alone the weight that was never yours to carry. Enough of you trying to solve with your own strength what only I can solve. Enough of you pretending that everything is all right when everything is crumbling. I decided that the time of your pain is over. The time of your defeat is over. The time of your humiliation is over. And the time of your restoration has begun now. I know someone you know is going through the same pain you went through. So share this message with that person now, because they need to know they're not alone. You don't need to pretend with me anymore. You don't need to hide your wounds anymore. You don't need to say everything is all right when it's not, because I've already seen everything. I already know everything. And even so, or rather precisely because of that, I love you, I choose you, I want you. Not despite your wounds, but with all of them, because I am an expert at taking what is broken and transforming it into a masterpiece. I am an expert at taking what the world has thrown away and giving it infinite value. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with you now. And it is because of all that I have seen, because of all that I know, that I have decided to intervene in your life now. Not because you deserved it, not because you were perfect, not because you did everything right or prayed all the right prayers or fasted all the fasts, but because you are mine, you are my son, you are my daughter, and I can no longer bear to see you in this state. I can no longer bear to see the creature I created with so much love, with so much care, with so much purpose being crushed by the weight of life. I no longer accept seeing you wither when I created you to flourish. I no longer accept seeing you in scarcity when I planned you for abundance. I no longer accept seeing you sick when I designed you for perfect health. So I made a sovereign decision, an irrevocable decision, a decision that no force of hell can cancel and no circumstance can prevent. I decided that now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you are ready, but right now, I will act in your life. And when I decide something, son, when I decree something, daughter, neither heaven nor earth can prevent it from happening. What comes out of my mouth does not return empty. What I determine comes to pass. What I prophesy manifests. At this very moment, as you listen to these words, I am releasing my fire upon you, the fire of my Holy Spirit, and pay attention, because this is not a fire that destroys. This is the fire that restores. It is not the fire that burns and leaves ashes. It is the fire that purifies and reveals the gold that has always been within you. It is not the fire that hurts. It is the fire that heals. This fire is descending upon you now, as tongue is a flame invisible to the natural eye, but absolutely tangible to your spirit. This fire is now touching the deepest emotional wounds you carry, those you never told anyone about, those you locked deep in your heart and threw away the key because you were afraid to feel again. My fire is entering there and beginning a healing process that only I can do. This fire is touching your body now, every cell, every organ, every system. Where there is sickness, my fire brings healing. Where there is pain, my fire brings relief. Where there is weakness, my fire brings renewed strength. Tap the like button now because this is your yes to me, and subscribe to this channel because I will continue talking to you every day. This fire is also touching the emptiness you feel inside. That hole you've tried to fill with so many things, but nothing has ever been enough. My fire is filling that space now with my presence, with my love, with the certainty that you are no longer alone and never will be again. This fire is now burning away everything that needs to leave your life. All the hurt that is poisoning your heart, all the resentment that is imprisoning your soul, all the bitterness that is stealing your joy, all the fear that is paralyzing your steps. And you may even begin to feel something different happening within you now, a peace you can't explain, a hope that was dead and is being resurrected, a warmth in your chest, a lightness in your spirit. Don't ignore it. It is my spirit touching you. It is my presence manifesting. It is the beginning of the transformation I promised. Receive it now. Open your heart. Let my fire do what only it can do. Because what I am beginning now in you, I will finish. What I start, I complete. And this is only the beginning. Because I know there are wounds in you that you've never shown anyone. Wounds you've hidden so well that even the people closest to you have no idea they exist. Wounds you carry beneath your smile, behind your mask of strength, hidden behind the words that say, I'm fine, but I see. Those wounds, son. I see those wounds, daughter, and I didn't come here to ignore them or pretend they don't exist. I came to truly heal them. I know the rejection you felt when you were a child, when you needed love but received indifference, when you needed attention but received abandonment, when you needed someone to look at you and say you are important, but no one said it, and that wound remained there, buried deep in your heart, shaping how you see yourself, how you relate to others, how you believe or fail to believe in your own worth. I know this. I saw it happen. I felt the pain with you at that moment. And I'm telling you now that that doesn't define who you are. I know the words that were spoken against you, words that scarred your soul like branding iron, words from people who should have protected you but hurt you instead, words that made you believe you weren't enough, that you would never be capable, that you didn't deserve to be loved. These words became voices in your head, constantly repeating the same lies. And you've been fighting these voices alone for so long that you no longer know if they're true or false. But I am here to tell you that they are lies, all of them. And my voice is louder, stronger, truer than any other voice that has ever spoken about you. I know about the betrayal you suffered from that person you trusted completely, who stabbed you in the back. And the worst part wasn't the pain of the betrayal itself, but the distrust that followed, the inability to trust again, the wall you built around your heart so you would never again be caught off guard, so you would never again be hurt like that. I know. I saw you building that wall brick by brick, and I understand why you did it. But, son, daughter, that wall that protects you from pain also imprisons you from life, from love, from the true connections I want to give you. I know the losses you carry. People who left a void that nothing and no one could fill. Dreams that died before they were born. Opportunities that passed and never returned. And you tried to move on, tried to be strong, tried not to look back. But there are nights when the longing is so intense that you can barely breathe. There are moments when you wonder what it would be like if that person were still here, if that dream had come true, if that door hadn't closed. I know. Each of these losses, I cried each one of them along with you. And I want you to understand one thing. Feeling this pain doesn't make you weak. Carrying these wounds doesn't make you less spiritual. Having these struggles doesn't mean your faith is small. It means you are human, that you are real, that you have gone through difficult things and yet you kept walking. And that son, that daughter, is not weakness. That is a strength you don't even know you have, and I see that strength. I honor that strength. And now I will use that strength along with my power to take you to a place you never imagined you could reach. I want you to know that every tear that fell from your face has a name, every single one. I didn't just count them as numbers. I gave each one an identity. The tear of loneliness has a name. The tear of fear has a name. The tear of disillusionment has a name. The tear of despair, when you saw no way out, has a name. And they are all kept safe with me. None were lost. None were wasted. None fell into the void. I know the tear you cried when you discovered the betrayal. That tear that came, accompanied by a silent scream of pain that tore your soul in two. I saw. I witnessed it. I know the tear that fell when you received the diagnosis that changed everything. When the doctor spoke the words you didn't want to hear and your world collapsed in that cold hospital room, I was there. That tear didn't fall alone. I held it in my hand. I know the tear you shed at the funeral of that person you loved so much. When you looked at that coffin and the reality that you would never again see that smile, hear that voice, feel that embrace hit you like a punch in the stomach. I cried with you that day. I know about the tears you shed in the early morning. Hours when you looked at the bills you couldn't pay. When you opened the empty refrigerator and wondered how you would feed your children the next day. When financial despair suffocated you in a way you never imagined possible. That tear of humiliation, of powerlessness, of shame, I saw each one. I know about the tears you cried when you felt completely alone in the middle of a crowd, when you were surrounded by people but felt that no one really saw you, heard you, understood you. That tear of the deepest loneliness, the one that hurts more than any physical pain. I felt it with you. Type 77777 in the comments now, because this is the number of completeness, and when you declare this, you prophesy that I will complete everything that is incomplete in you. And I also know about the tears you didn't cry, the ones that stayed stuck in your throat because you couldn't afford to fall apart, the ones you held back with all your might because people depended on you and you needed to be strong, the ones you swallowed because you were afraid that if you started crying, you would never be able to stop. Those uncried tears, son, those uncried tears, daughter, I saw them. Too, because I see what's behind the mask. I see the pain you hide. I see the weight you carry in silence. But I want to tell you something that will change the way you see all this suffering. None of these tears were in vain. None of this pain was wasted. I saved every tear because I will transform them. Every tear you cried is becoming a seed of miracle. Every night of pain is being transformed into fuel for your victory. Every moment of agony is being converted into a testimony of glory. Because I waste nothing in the lives of my children. Everything, absolutely everything, I know how to use for your good. The tears you cried in secret will become the public testimony of my faithfulness. The pain no one saw will become the story everyone will want to hear. The darkest valley you walked through will become the highest platform from which you will declare my power. Because I am already transforming everything now. I am already rewriting history. I am already preparing the glorious ending. And when you look back, you will understand why every tear needed to fall. And I also know that emptiness you feel inside. That hole that seems bottomless. That empty space in the center of your chest that hurts in a way you can't even explain. You've tried to fill that void in so many ways. You've tried to fill it with relationships. You've looked for someone who would make you feel complete, who would fill that space, who would take away that feeling that something is missing. And for a while it even seemed to work. But then you discovered that neither the most intense love nor the most present companionship could take that emptiness away from inside you. You tried to fill it with work. You threw yourself headlong into your occupations, thinking that if you stayed busy enough, if you produced enough, if you achieved the success everyone admires, that emptiness would disappear. You worked to exhaustion. You achieved things. You built a career. But when you stopped, when you sat alone after all the achievements, the emptiness was still there, bigger, than before. You tried to fill it with money. You thought that if you had enough resources, if you could buy whatever you wanted, if you had financial security, that inner restlessness would cease. But you discovered that money buys comfort but not peace. It buys pleasure but not joy. It buys distraction but not purpose. You tried to fill it with pleasures, with parties, with drinks, with intense experiences that would make you forget for a few hours that that void exists. And it worked for a few hours. But when the effect wore off, when the party ended, when you went home, the emptiness was waiting for you, bigger, deeper, more painful. You even tried to fill it with religion. You frequented places, you followed rituals, you recited memorized prayers, you tried to be good enough, holy enough, religious enough. But none of that touched that void, because religion doesn't feel what only relationships can feel. And do you know why none of that worked, son? Do you know why none of that worked, daughter? Because that emptiness inside you wasn't meant to be filled by any of that. That emptiness has a specific shape. It has a specific size. It has a specific depth, and it was made exactly in my shape. It was molded so that only I could fill it. You can try to put anything else there, but it will always be like trying to fit the wrong piece into a puzzle. It won't work. It won't complete you. It won't satisfy you. Share this message now with someone you know who is trying to fill the void with the wrong things, because that person needs to discover that only God can fill what God created. That emptiness, son, that emptiness, daughter, is not a curse. It's not a flaw in your design. It's not a factory defect. It's an intentional design. I created you with that empty space inside you so that you would seek me, so that you would search for me, so that no creature, no achievement, no circumstance could take my place at the center of your life. That emptiness is a constant reminder that you were made for me, that you will only find true completeness in me, that you can have everything, but if you don't have me, you have nothing. And now, after you've tried everything, after you've exhausted all options, after you've concluded that nothing in this world can fill that void, I will do what only I can do. I will enter that emptiness. I will fill that void with my presence, with my love, with my peace, with my purpose. And for the first time in your life, you will experience what it is to feel complete, what it is to feel whole, what it is to wake up without that weight that something is missing. Because nothing will be missing, I will be there. And when I am, everything is. And it is precisely now that I will do what I promised. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you think you are more ready. Now, this very instant. As you hear these words, as your heart beats, as you breathe, I am releasing my fire upon you. The fire of my Holy Spirit is descending upon your life at this very moment. It is not a future promise. It is not something you need to wait for to happen. It is something that is happening now. This fire is descending from heaven like tongues of flame that only spiritual eyes can see, but that your whole being will feel. This is not an ordinary fire. This is not the fire that destroys. This is the sacred fire that transforms. It is the fire that burns but does not consume. It is the fire that purifies but does not annihilate. It is the fire that touches and completely renews. This is the same fire that descended at Pentecost and changed fearful men into courageous preachers. The same fire that touched prophets and made them see the invisible. The same fire that transformed fishermen into leaders of multitudes. And this fire is upon you now. It is touching your mind at this moment, burning away negative thoughts, burning away lies you've believed about yourself for years, burning away destructive thought patterns that have kept you trapped. This fire is renewing your mind, restoring the way you think, opening understanding that was closed, bringing clarity where there was confusion, illuminating paths that seemed too dark to see. This fire is touching your emotions now. It is entering those places where pain has been kept for so long, where hurt has taken deep root, where resentment has built strongholds. And this fire is burning all of that away, not to make you suffer more, but to set you free once and for all. Each flame of my spirit is touching an emotional wound and bringing true healing, not that superficial healing that lasts a few days, but the deep healing that transforms forever. This fire is touching your physical body right now. Where there is sickness, my fire brings health. Where there is chronic pain, my fire brings relief. Where there is extreme fatigue, my fire brings renewed energy. Every cell in your body is being touched by my power at this very moment. I am the God who created your body, and I know exactly how to restore it. No diagnosis is greater than my power. No medical condition is beyond my reach. No disease can withstand the touch of my fire. Watch this video now and subscribe to this channel, because I will continue releasing powerful words about you every day, and you can't miss any of them. This fire is now burning away everything that binds you to the past, all the invisible chains that prevented you from moving forward, all the traumas that kept you hostage to painful memories, all the fears that paralyzed you in the face of opportunities. This fire is liberating. Where it touches, the chains break. Where it burns, the prisons open. Where it passes, freedom is established, and you are being freed now. You may even begin to feel something different happening, a warmth in your chest, an inexplicable peace descending upon you, a lightness you haven't felt in so long, tears that begin to flow without you understanding exactly why. Don't be afraid of it. Don't repress it. It is my spirit touching you. It is my fire doing the deep work that needs to be done. Let it happen. Receive it. Allow me to do in you what only I can do, because this is the moment. This is Kairos, and my fire will not stop until it completes everything that has begun now, because I need you to understand the nature of this fire that is upon you. This is not the fire you know. It is not the fire that burns wood and leaves ashes. It is not the fire that consumes and destroys everything it touches. This is a different fire. This is the fire that the goldsmith uses to purify gold. The fire that does not destroy the precious metal, but removes all impurities. The fire that burns the dross, but preserves the treasure. And you, son, you, daughter, you are the gold, you are the treasure. You are what has inestimable value. My fire is now burning away everything that has accumulated within you over the years, but was never part of your true identity. All the false layers you built to protect yourself, but ended up imprisoning you. All the masks you put on to be accepted, but made you forget who you really are. All the lies that were told about you and that you ended up believing. All of that is burning now, and it might even hurt a little. It might be uncomfortable, because when you carry something for a long time, even if it's bad, taking it off can feel strange at first. But I promise that what is being burned needs to be burned. What is being removed needs to be removed, because beneath all these layers lies the person I created, the person I always saw, the person I always loved. And that person is beautiful. That person is strong. That person has a glow that the world has never been able to completely extinguish. My fire is revealing that person now. It is bringing back to the surface who you always were before the world told you who you should be. This fire is burning away the shame that made you walk with your head down, the shame of past mistakes, the shame of things that were done against you but that you somehow carried as if it were your fault. That shame is turning to ashes now, and in its place, dignity is rising, honor, the ability to look ahead with your head held high, knowing that you are a son of God, a daughter of God, and that changes everything. This fire is burning away the fear that has paralyzed you for so long, the fear of trying again and failing, the fear of trusting again and being betrayed, the fear of dreaming again and being disappointed. the fear of loving again and being abundant. All these fears are being consumed by my fire now, because where my spirit is, there is freedom, and I did not create you to live imprisoned by fear. I created you to live in complete freedom, to take risks knowing that I am with you, to leap of faith knowing that I will hold you. This fire is also burning away the bitterness that poisoned your heart, that bitter taste you left after the injustices you suffered, that resentment that gnawed at you from the inside every time you remembered what they did to you, that pent-up anger that was consuming you more than it consumed the person who hurt you. My fire is burning all of that away now. And do you know what is being born in its place? Forgiveness. Not that forced forgiveness that religion taught, but the true forgiveness that sets you free first. The forgiveness that doesn't say what they did was right, but that says you will no longer carry the weight of it. And when my fire finishes its work, when the entire purification process is complete, what will remain is pure gold. It will be you in your truest version, most authentic, freest, strongest, most like who I always dreamed you would be. And this process has already begun. My fire is already working, and I will not stop until I see you shine. Because my fire doesn't work only in one area of your life and leave the others broken. I am not a God who heals your mind but leaves your body sick. I am not a God who restores your finances but leaves your relationships destroyed. I am not a God of half-cures, of temporary patches, of partial solutions. When I touch everything. When I heal completely. When I restore, I leave no area of your life untouched. My fire is bringing healing to your emotional life right now. All those wounds that bled inside but no one saw. All that pain that woke you up in the middle of the night. All that anguish that tightened your chest without warning. My fire is entering there and truly healing. You will begin to feel a peace you haven't felt in years. An emotional lightness you didn't even remember was possible. You will wake up without that weight on your soul. You will sleep without that anxiety suffocating you. My fire is bringing healing to your physical body right now. That illness that doctors said has no cure, I am healing it now. That chronic pain that has been with you for so long, I am removing it now. That extreme fatigue that even rest couldn't. Heliavi, I am renewing your strength now. I am the God who created every cell in your body, and I know exactly how to restore it completely. You will feel the difference. You will witness the change. My fire is bringing restoration to your relationships now. Those bonds that were broken, I will reconnect. Those bridges that were burned, I will rebuild. Those conversations that need to happen, I will orchestrate. Where there was hurt, there will be forgiveness. Where there was distance, there will be closeness. Where there was relational death, there will be resurrection. I will touch the hearts of those involved and do what only I can do. Enjoy this video now as a pact that you are receiving complete healing in all areas of your life. My fire is bringing provision to your financial life right now. That scarcity that was suffocating you, I am reversing it. Those debts that seemed impossible to pay, I will provide a way. Those doors of opportunity that were closed, I will open. I am not a God who wants to see you in misery. I am the God of abundance. And I will teach you to prosper with wisdom, to manage intelligently, to grow with purpose. The provision I will release is not just for you to survive, it is for you to live fully. My fire is bringing renewal to your mind now. Those obsessive thoughts that tormented you, I am removing. Those negative voices that repeated lies, I am silencing. That mental confusion that prevented you from making decisions, I am bringing clarity. You will begin to think differently, see differently, understand differently. Your mind will become a place of peace, not war, a place of hope, not despair. My fire is bringing revival to your spiritual life right now. That coldness you felt is being replaced by burning passion. That distance you felt from me is being eliminated by deep intimacy. That doubt that corroded your faith is being consumed by unwavering certainty. You will hear me clearly. You will feel me intensely. You will know me in a way you never have before. And this connection will absolutely change everything in your life. This is the fire that leaves no area untouched. This is the God who makes all things new, not some things, all things. And you are about to witness this in your own life. But I need to show you something even deeper, something you may never have noticed, but that explains a lot about your life. There are patterns that have been repeating themselves in your family for generations, patterns that passed from your great-grandfather to your grandfather, from your grandfather to your father, from your father to you. And you look back and realize it's not a coincidence, it's a cycle, a pattern, a curse that has been passed down from generation to generation, as if it were an inheritance that nobody asked for but everyone received. Have you ever noticed that poverty haunts your family? That no matter how hard each generation strives, works and fights, there's always something that prevents prosperity from taking hold. Your grandfather died poor, your father lived in scarcity, and now you're struggling with the same financial difficulties. Have you ever noticed that relationships in your family always end the same way? Divorces that repeat themselves, betrayals that happen in every generation, loneliness that marks everyone's history. Your grandfather divorced, your father divorced, and you're experiencing the same relational conflicts. Have you ever noticed that certain illnesses appear generation after generation in your family? I'm not just talking about physical genetics. I'm talking about patterns of illness that manifest in different ways, but with the same root. Depression that haunts each generation. Anxiety that paralyzes all family members. Illnesses that always appear at the same stage of life. You see your grandfather getting sick like that. You see your father going through the same thing, and now you feel the same symptoms starting in yourself. Have you ever noticed that addiction runs through your lineage like a never-ending river? Alcoholism destroyed your grandfather. Various addictions destroyed your father, and now you struggle with the same compulsions. Or perhaps you managed to overcome a specific addiction, but another one took its place because the root cause wasn't addressed. Have you ever noticed that failure marks your family history? Projects that never worked out, dreams that were always aborted, potential that was never realized, and you carry the fear that the same will happen to you. But I am here today to tell you that this ends now. These cycles that have been repeating for generations, these curses that have been passed down as a cursed inheritance, these patterns that seemed unbreakable, I am breaking all of this now, because you were not born to repeat your family's history. You were born to rewrite that history. You are not a slave to your lineage's past. You are free in me. And when I set you free, I don't just break the chains that are on you, I break the chains that came from generations past. Share this message with your family now, because they need to know that cycles can be broken, and you are living proof of that. At this very moment, I am cutting spiritual roots that were planted decades, centuries ago in your family lineage. I am destroying altars that were erected by ancestors you didn't even know, but which still affected your life. I am canceling pacts that were made in the past, but that attempted to determine your future. I am erasing every sentence, every decree, every negative word that was spoken about your family. And I am writing a new story, a story of victory, a story of prosperity, a story of healing, a story of liberation. And this new story begins with you. You are the cycle breaker of your generation. You are the one who will do things differently. You are the one through whom I will establish a new standard, a standard of blessing, a standard of abundance, a standard of health, a standard of restored relationships. And the generations that come after you will not inherit a curse. They will inherit a blessing. You need to understand who you are. You are not just another victim in your family's long line of victims. You are not just another one who will suffer what everyone else has suffered. You are not the continuation of a pattern, you are its interruption. You are the breaker of cycles. This is your identity. This is your mission. This is the purpose for which you are alive in this specific generation and not another. It's no coincidence that you were born now. It's no accident that you are alive at this moment in your family's history. I chose you. I set you apart. I prepared you through everything you've been through, all the pain you've felt, every battle you've faced, to be exactly this, the breaker of cycles, the one who will say enough is enough, the one who will interrupt what has been operating for decades, the one through whom I will establish a new standard for all future generations. And I want you to understand the weight and glory of this. What you do now doesn't just affect you. It affects your children, it affects your grandchildren, it affects great-grandchildren who haven't even been born yet. When you break a cycle, you don't just liberate yourself, you liberate everyone who will come after you. When you say no to a destructive pattern, you are saying yes to a different future for all your descendants. When you allow my fire to burn away the roots of curse in your life, you are planting roots of blessing for future generations. You are the turning point in your family's history. You are the one who marks the before and after. Before you, there was one pattern. After you, there will be another. Before you, there was a curse being passed down. After you, there will be a blessing being multiplied. And that's no small thing, son. That's no small thing, daughter. This is a glorious mission. This is a sacred calling. This is a privilege that few understand, but that you are beginning to understand now. And I did not call you to this mission without giving you the authority to fulfill it. At this moment, I am granting you spiritual authority. Authority in my name to decree the end of every negative cycle. Authority to cancel every sentence that has been pronounced upon your lineage. Authority to destroy every stronghold that has been built over generations. You have this power now, not because you are special in yourself, but because I chose you, and when I choose someone, I empower them with everything they need to fulfill their purpose. Subscribe to this channel now, because I will continue to strengthen your identity as a cycle breaker through the words I will release to you. So stop seeing yourself as a victim. Stop seeing yourself as someone who merely suffers the consequences of decisions others have made. You are not a hostage to your family's past. You are the liberator of its future. You are not the end of a sad story. You are the beginning of a glorious one. And when future generations look back, they will identify you as the one who changed everything, as the one who had the courage to be different, as the one who allowed God to do what no one before had allowed. And I know that this is a little scary because it's a great responsibility. But son, daughter, you are not alone in this. I am with you. My spirit is upon you. My strength is available to you. And what I begin, I finish. I will not call you to be a cycle breaker and leave you without the resources to break them. I will give you everything you need. Wisdom to make different decisions. Courage to face what needs to be faced. Strength to resist when temptations come. And perseverance not to give up halfway. And now that the cycles have been broken, now that the chains have been destroyed, now that the roots of the curse have been uprooted, I will do something even more glorious. I did not come merely to destroy the old. I came to establish the new. And the new begins in you now, not in a few months, not when you feel ready. Now, at this very moment, while my fire is still burning what needed to be burned, I am already planting seeds of the new in your life. I am establishing a new pattern of prosperity for you now. Not the prosperity that comes and goes, but the prosperity that settles in and remains. The prosperity that is not just for you to survive, but for you to abound. The prosperity that will flow through you to future generations. Your children will not know the scarcity you have known. Your grandchildren will not go through the financial hardships that have marked your family's history. Because the new pattern is being planted now. and this pattern is one of abundance. I am establishing a new standard of health for you and your descendants now. Those diseases that have plagued your family generation after generation will no longer be allowed to operate. I am canceling every decree of illness. I am destroying every sentence of premature death, and I am decreeing long life, full health, and inexhaustible vitality. Your descendants will live at another level of health because the standard has changed, and the change began with you. I am establishing a new standard of healthy relationships across your lineage now. The time of recurring divorces is over. The time of betrayals that mark each generation is over. The time of loneliness that haunts family history is over. I am bringing profound relational healing. I am teaching you to love healthily, to build true bonds, to establish lasting relationships, and this will become a legacy for all who come after you. I am establishing a new standard of emotional peace over you and your home now. That anxiety that has plagued every generation, that depression that cast a shadow over the family, that despair that marked moments of crisis, all of that is being replaced. Peace that surpasses all understanding is being planted as a seed in your life now, and this peace will multiply, it will overflow, it will become a characteristic of your descendants. I am establishing a new standard of unwavering faith over your lineage now. The disbelief that marked past generations will no longer operate. The doubt that paralyzed your ancestors will no longer have power. I am planting in you a faith that moves mountains, a faith that does not give up, a faith that remains firm even when everything around shakes, and this faith will be passed on as a precious inheritance to future generations. Watch this video now because you are agreeing with the new plan that God is establishing for your entire lineage, starting with you. You are not just the breaker of the old, you are the founder of the new. You are the patriarch, the matriarch of a new lineage, a lineage marked by God's blessing, a lineage where the Lord's presence is constant, a lineage where the impossible becomes possible. And when your descendants look back decades, centuries from now, they will identify you as the one who started it all, as the one through whom God established a new standard. And the new has already begun. It is already in operation. It is already manifesting itself. But now I need to talk to you about something that's at the heart of everything, something that might be the deepest wound you carry, but that you've never been able to properly name. It's the feeling of being invisible, of going through life and feeling like nobody really sees you. I'm not just talking about being seen physically. I'm talking about being truly seen, about being known, about being valued, about feeling that you matter to someone. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that feeling of being in a crowded place, but feeling completely alone, of making a tremendous effort, but no one noticing, of giving your best, but no one recognizing it, of breaking down inside, but no one asking if you're okay. You know the pain of being ignored, of being forgotten, of being left aside. And that pain is one of the worst there is because it attacks the core of who you are. You work so hard, you dedicate yourself, you do everything right, but it seems like nobody sees it. At work, your effort goes unnoticed while others, who do less, receive all the praise. At home, you wear yourself out taking care of everything, but nobody thanks you, nobody recognizes you, nobody values you. At church, you serve, you participate, you are always present, but nobody notices when you are absent. It's as if you were part of the persistent scenery, uzifu when they need you, but invisible when they don't. And this invisibility hurts you in a way you can't always verbalize. Because it's not that you want to be the center of attention, it's not that you need spotlights or applause. You just wanted to be seen. You wanted someone to realize how much you're struggling. You wanted someone to recognize the weight you carry. You wanted someone to value who you are and not just what you do. But it seems like that never happens. And little by little you've convinced yourself that maybe you really aren't important. Maybe you really have no value. Maybe you're just another one. But son, daughter, I need to destroy this lie right now. You are not invisible. You have never been invisible. Not to me. I have always seen you. Always. Even before you were born, I saw you. I saw you being formed in your mother's womb. I saw the day you were born. I saw every stage of your life, every moment, every experience. And I have never, not for a second, taken my eyes off you. I saw when you were a child and felt excluded. When the other children played and you were left out. I saw the pain of that moment. I saw when you were a teenager and struggled to fit in, to be accepted, to belong. I saw every rejection you suffered, every time you weren't chosen, every time you felt inferior. I was there, seeing it all, suffering with you. I saw you enter adulthood and discover that the world is even crueler than you imagined. I saw you struggling to survive, to earn your place, to prove your worth. I saw every door that slammed in your face, every opportunity that passed you by, every time you were overlooked. And I saw the discouragement growing inside you. I saw you starting to believe that maybe you're not good enough. But I saw more than that. I saw what no one else saw. I saw that day you cried alone and no one asked why. I saw that night you couldn't sleep because the anguish was too great. I saw that dawn when you knelt down begging for a miracle. I saw every effort you made in secret, every act of kindness that no one witnessed, every sacrifice you made that no one knew about. None of this was invisible to me. I saw when you gave up your dreams to take care of someone you loved. I saw when you worked beyond your limits to support your family. I saw when you forgave those who hurt you, even when no one knew. I saw when you chose to do the right thing, even when it cost you dearly. I saw when you maintained your integrity when no one was watching. And each of those choices, each of those moments, each of those sacrifices, I recorded, I honored, I preserved. Comment now, I am seen by God. Because when you declare this, you are breaking the power of invisibility over your life. You need to understand that just because people don't see you doesn't mean you're invisible. It just means they're blind. But I'm not. I see you in high definition. I see not only what you do, but why you do. I see not only your actions, but your intentions. I see not only your outward appearance, but your heart. And what I see is beautiful. What I see is valuable. What I see is precious. You don't need to shout to be heard by me. You don't need to juggle to get my attention. You don't need to compete with anyone to be valued by me. You already have my attention. You already have my gaze. You already have my heart. And that will never change, no matter how many people ignore you, no matter how many times you are forgotten, no matter how many make you feel like you don't matter. You matter to me immensely. And I will make sure others see you too. I will bring you out of invisibility. I will put you in the spotlight, not because you need the limelight, but because it's time for the world to recognize what I have always seen. The time of anonymity is over. The time of being ignored is over. The time has come for you to be seen, known, valued, and that starts now. And now that you know I see you, I need to show you how I see you. Because there's a huge difference between how the world sees you and how I see you. The world looks at the outside. I look at the inside. The world judges you by what you've achieved. I value you for who you are. The world defines you by your mistakes. I define you by my love. And it's time for you to stop believing what the world has said about you and start believing what I've always known about you. The world called you a failure, but I see you as a victor, not because you never failed, but because every time you fell, you got up. Every time you were knocked down, you rose again. Every time it seemed like it was over, you found the strength to continue. That's not failure, son. That's not defeat, daughter. That's victory, true. Victors are not those who never fall. They are those who never give up, and you never gave up. So in my eyes, you are a victor. The world called you rejected, but I see you as chosen by me before the foundation of the world, set apart for a specific purpose, called to a unique mission. It doesn't matter how many people rejected you. It doesn't matter how many doors closed. It doesn't matter how many times you weren't chosen, because I chose you. And when I choose someone, that choice is irrevocable. You are not rejected. You are chosen, accepted, desired, cherished by me. The world called you worthless, but I see you as precious, so precious that I gave my own life for you, so valuable that there is no price that can buy you, because you have already been bought with the most precious blood that exists. The world may discard you. The world may underestimate you. The world may ignore you, but I value you more than you can comprehend. If you were the only human being on the face of the earth, I would still have died for you. That is how much you are worth to me. The world called you incapable, but I see you as powerfully empowered, not by your own strength, but by my spirit that dwells within you, not by your natural talents, but by the gifts I have placed within you. You may think you lack ability, but I don't call the capable. I empower the called, and you have been called. Therefore, you have everything you need to fulfill all that I have destined you to do. The world called you insignificant, but I see you as influential. Your life has an impact. Your words carry weight. Your actions matter more than you imagine. You don't need to be famous to be important. You don't need millions of followers to influence generations. Some of the most influential people in the kingdom never appear in the spotlight, but they change atmospheres, they transform environments, they impact lives, and you are one of those people. The world called you ordinary, but I see you as extraordinary. You weren't created to be just another face in the crowd. You were created to be a light in the darkness, salt that adds flavor, a noticeable difference. You have something unique inside you, a combination of gifts, experiences, personality, and calling that no one else has. You are not a copy. You are original, exclusive, irreplaceable. Enjoy this video now as a declaration that you are getting your true identity back. The world has defined you by your mistakes, but I define you by my forgiveness. Your mistakes are not your identity. Your sins are not who you are. Your past does not determine your future. When I look at you, I don't see a list of the wrong things you've done. I see someone forgiven, cleansed, purified. I see someone with a glorious future ahead, because God's mercy is greater than any human error. The world has labeled you according to your circumstances. If you are going through hardship, the world calls you unlucky. If you are facing battles, the world calls you cursed. If you are in the struggle, the world calls you a loser. But I don't define you by your circumstances. I define you by my promise. And my promise is that you are more than a conqueror, that all things work together for your good, that what you are going through now is not the end of the story, it's just a chapter, and the ending will be glorious. The world has told you that you are weak, but I see you as strong, strong enough to survive everything that tried to destroy you, strong enough to carry burdens that would break others, strong enough to remain standing when everything conspired to bring you down. Your strength is not in the absence of weakness, it is in the presence of my power working through your fragility. So stop carrying identities that were never yours. You are not a failure. You are not rejected. You are not worthless. You are not incapable. You are not insignificant. You are not ordinary. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not what your circumstances say you are. You are who I say you are. You are a son. You are a daughter. You are loved. You are chosen. You are precious. You are victorious. You are empowered. You are influential. You are extraordinary. And that is your true identity, the identity that no one can take away from you. And now that you know who you really are, I need to reveal something that will completely change the way you see your life. There is a purpose for you, but it's not a generic purpose. It's not the kind of purpose that applies to everyone. It's a specific purpose, unique, tailor-made for you, a purpose that only you can fulfill, nobody else. Not someone more talented, not someone more prepared, not someone holier, only you. I created you with a unique combination of gifts, talents, personality, experiences, and calling that no one else in the universe possesses. You are not a copy. You are not an inferior version of someone else. You are an original. And there is a specific mission waiting for you that will only be fulfilled if you fulfill it. If you don't fulfill it, it will remain incomplete. Because I don't have a plan B, you are plan A. You are the right person for the right mission at the right time. And I know you look at your life and think that nothing makes sense, that you've been through so many bad things that have no purpose, that you've suffered so much for no reason, that you were broken unnecessarily. But son, daughter, I need you to understand something now. Nothing you've been through was wasted. Nothing was in vain. Nothing was an accident. Every pain you felt, every battle you faced, every tear you shed, every sleepless night, every moment you wanted to give up but kept going, all of that was preparing you. Preparing you for what? For the purpose I have for you, because your purpose is not light, it is not superficial, it is not small. Your purpose has weight, it has depth, it has magnitude, and you needed to be forged. You needed to be refined. You needed to go through the fire to become the person capable of carrying what I will give you to carry. People with great purposes always go through great preparations. And everything you went through was preparation. That betrayal that almost destroyed you, it taught you discernment. That loss that broke you in two, it taught you compassion. That failure that humiliated you, it taught you humility. That illness that brought you down, it taught you dependence on me. That loneliness that consumed you, it taught you to seek my presence. Nothing was wasted. Everything was a school. Everything was training. Everything was preparation for what comes now. And do you know what makes your purpose so special? It's that it's directly connected to your pain. The people you will reach are exactly the people who are going through what you went through. The ministry you will carry out is directly linked to the battles you won. The message you will deliver is the message you needed to hear when you were broken. God uses your story of pain to write the story of liberation for other people. Do you think you went through depression for nothing? No. You will minister deliverance to people trapped in the same darkness. Do you think you faced financial difficulties without reason? No. You will teach prosperity to people who are in scarcity. Do you think you survived an abusive relationship by chance? No. You will be an instrument of God to liberate others who are trapped. Your pain has a purpose. Your scar has power. Your story has a destiny. Share this video now with someone who needs to discover that pain has a purpose and that God is preparing them for something great. And I know you feel unprepared. I know you look at yourself and think you don't have what it takes. But son, daughter, if you felt fully prepared, you would trust yourself. And I need you to trust me. I'm not looking for perfect people. I'm looking for available people. I don't need you to have all the answers. I need you to say, yes, I'll teach you. The rest along the way. The world needs what only you can give. There are people waiting for the message that only you can bring. There are lives that will only be reached through you. There are doors that will only open when you arrive. There are miracles that will only happen when you obey. You are not optional in God's plan. You are essential. You are not a luxury. You are a necessity. And if you don't fulfill your purpose, something will be missing in the world. And I want you to understand that this is not a future purpose. It's not something that will begin 10 years from now when you feel ready. It's now. Your purpose has already begun. In fact, it began the day you were born, but it is now that it will fully manifest. It is now that you will enter into the fullness of what I have always planned for you. It is now that everything will begin to make sense. It is now that you will look back and understand why you went through everything you went through. Your purpose isn't just about what you're going to do. It's also about who you are. Some people fulfill their purpose through giant platforms. Others fulfill their purpose through quiet acts of love. Some change the world through movements. Others change the world one life at a time. Don't compare your purpose to anyone else's. Don't measure your calling by someone else's yardstick. Your purpose is unique, and it's perfect for you. Perhaps your purpose is to raise children who will impact generations. Perhaps it is to lead a company with integrity amidst a corrupt market. Perhaps it is to serve in an underprivileged community. Perhaps it is to create art that touches souls. Perhaps it is to counsel broken people. Perhaps it is to intercede behind the scenes. Perhaps it is to prophesy to nations. Perhaps it is all of these things in different seasons. But whatever it is glorious. It is necessary. It is divine. And I am equipping you now. Everything you need to fulfill your purpose, I am releasing upon you at this moment. Anointing that you did not have, you are receiving now. Authority that you did not possess is being granted now. Wisdom that you did not have is being poured out now. Courage that you did not feel is being implanted now. You are being prepared at this very instant to do what I have called you to do. And when you begin to walk in your purpose, when you begin to do what you were born to do, something will change within you. You will feel a satisfaction you have never felt before, a fullness that no human achievement can bring, a joy that does not depend on circumstances. Because there is nothing more rewarding than fulfilling the purpose for which you were created. Nothing compares to looking back and knowing that you did exactly what you were born to do.